What's going on, guys? Gamer Dude back once again, bringing you some more informative gaming news. But before we begin, y'all know the routine, or at least I hope you do by now. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. Now then, straight into the video. It appears that Hogwarts Legacy on the PS4 and Xbox One are in a little bit of trouble. That's not to say that they're not still coming out, because they are, but it would appear that the previous gen versions of the games are in trouble, and they are indeed being slated and roasted by the pre-test community that have already been able to test the game on those systems. So in this video, we're going to be discussing what those issues could be, why this could be happening, and what this could mean. So, while Hogwarts Legacy has been a hit on the current gen consoles and the PC, fans are beginning to get slightly concerned about what the game is going to look like on PS4 and Xbox One. Now, the game on the current gen systems and the PC broke the boundaries of just gaming technology. It was flawlessly beautiful on the PS5, and I've seen footage for it on the Xbox and the PC, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But on the PS4 and Xbox One, it's looking like it's not so gorgeous. It's looking like it was delayed for a particular reason, and that particular reason being that the previous gen systems are having a lot of trouble handling a lot of the content that is in Hogwarts Legacy. So while many are still boycotting the Wizarding World RPG due to its association with J.K. Rowling, once again, I will not go into detail on that because YouTube will have a paddy at me. Anyway, for those planning to play it who do not own a next-gen console or a PC, Hogwarts Legacy's eventual arrival on previous-gen consoles and Nintendo Switch is sure to be exciting. I say eventual because the goalpost keeps being moved. And that's not to say there's good reasoning behind it. After playing it on the PS5, I can totally understand why they would delay it on the last gen systems. I mean, even if I didn't have a current gen system, I would be upset. I would maybe even be a bit pissed, but I would understand the delay for this game if I still had it. Well, if I was still wanting to play it on the PS4. I mean, it's completely understandable. This game, as I said, breaks the boundaries of gaming technology. It is so far ahead that I think even the current gen systems were struggling a little bit to keep up with it. But anyway, while the game was originally supposed to release on all platforms on the same day, it was previously announced a couple of weeks before, or should I say a couple of months before, sorry, that it'd be landing on the PS4 and Xbox One a couple of months after its release on the new gen consoles. Now, a couple of days ago, that day once again got moved. It's now supposed to release on the 5th of May, and on the Nintendo Switch, the 25th of July. Now, as to why they've postponed it this far, is still a little bit sketchy, but we're going to be going into detail as to why in a little bit. Now, announcing this delay, the official Hogwarts Legacy Twitter account wrote the following: "The team is working hard to deliver the best possible experience on all platforms, and we need more time to do this. While this doesn't necessarily mean that the devs have run into problems perfecting the previous gen versions, fans are starting to wonder just how well the game is going to run on older hardware, and the current guess is poorly." Now, those who have been beta testing Hogwarts Legacy for previous gen consoles have taken to the mythical lands of Reddit, and a user has posted the following, along with an edited video showing the game heavily pixelated and running at about 1 frame per second. No word of a lie, I've seen this clip. I would include it, but I can't for copyright reasons. So I'm just going to discuss it. Starting with this guy's quote. So he says, "In case you missed the flair, it's a joke. Though I do wonder how the game will perform on previous gen consoles. Those versions getting delayed again doesn't bode well." Now, the clip in question, it's only about 30 seconds long, but it shows this guy flying around on a broomstick, and the environment is extraordinarily pixelated, and it's jumping around at extraordinarily slow frames. You know, it looks like something that should have come out for the PS1. And I'm not too sure if that's just because it's a testing one. But even if it was a testing one, this far ahead in the game's development, or this far ahead since the game's already launched on current gen systems, so that would stand to reason that the game is practically almost finished on the previous gen, it doesn't bode well, let's say. It really doesn't. But anyway, moving on. Fans aren't too optimistic about the game's performance on the last gen either. I mean, the graphics seem like something last gen really can't handle. My guess is load times will be quite bad. Even though load screens on the PS5 and on the new Xbox as well are all but gone. You know, loading screens just pretty much don't exist anymore for new games. Hogwarts Legacy on the current gen systems does still take some time to load in certain areas. You know, there is still that bit of a delay when you're entering a new area, or when you're just waiting for the game to load up in general. So my guess is that on the previous gen systems, it's going to be a hell of a lot worse. And that's not a good thing. That's really not. Okay. Anyway, I'm sure though that the graphics will be brought up to speed before its release. The main problem, of course, will be performance. I can't see how they could get this game to run at a steady 30 frames per second when, although it was great on the PS5, it's still not perfect running at 30 frames per second. So I think on the PS4 and Xbox One, it's really going to struggle to find its footing in that respect. Now, any official footage, like from the devs of Hogwarts Legacy, has yet to be seen. So I guess we'll just have to watch whatever gets leaked out and see how the official finished product turns out. Now, moving on to the actual delay itself, of course, the game is still the talk of the town, and it's over a month old now. Hogwarts Legacy has actually become the best-selling Harry Potter game of all time, beating the movie games by far. The game has sold a whopping 12 million copies in its first 2 weeks. Now, within that same time frame, players amassed over 267 million in-game hours. Now, I can only imagine that number has increased, seeing as now we're over a month past its actual release. And not to mention, a sequel has already been teased. Apparently, it's actually already in development. Plus, it's rumoured that a TV show is in the works, not to mention Warner Brothers Studios, that is the movie studios, are actually working on getting a Harry Potter Cursed Child movie made with the original Harry Potter cast returning. So it's safe to say that Potter fever is there. Potter fever is in the air. God, it must feel like 2001 all over again. Seeing all those posters and promotional pictures and trailers for the first Harry Potter movie. I mean, oh, that was a good time. I remember those times, even though I was probably about 7 years old. But yeah, anyway, the PS4 and Xbox One versions of Hogwarts Legacy, as I mentioned, were supposed to release alongside the new gen versions on the 10th of February. But back in December, the previous gen versions were pushed back to the 4th of April, and it's once again being pushed back. They are now currently saying, providing this doesn't change, that it will release on PlayStation 4, on Xbox One, on the 5th of May. Now, I guarantee this will happen with many games in the future, providing that devs just don't completely stop making games for those systems and be like, right, it's time to move on. We've been on next gen for a couple of years now. It's time to move on, sort of deal. But it is probably safe to say that the game itself, regardless of what platform you're playing it on, is incredible. Is going to be incredible, to say the least. And it's still, even a month after its release, hasn't moved from the top of the charts. It's like when you do those chart things for music. This is still at number one, and you're thinking to yourself, this is going to stay at number one for quite some time. But given how the game's utterly taken over the internet, I'm sure it comes as no surprise to hear that Hogwarts Legacy is selling extremely well, and people are still loving it. I mean, I've almost got the Platinum Trophy. I just need to play it as a Gryffindor, and then I've got the Platinum Trophy. I need to discover the map chamber as a Gryffindor, and then I've done it. And that has taken me 3 playthroughs with well over 1,000 hours put into the game. And it's just incredible. This game, I'm never going to get bored of it. It is just absolutely fabulous. I love it. I was so hyped for this game when I first heard about it, and I talked about nothing but this game for years after I first heard about it. Because I was a huge fan of Harry Potter when that first dropped. I was a huge fan of the movie tie-in games that they did. Not so much a fan of the Lego games, but once they were made free on PlayStation Plus, I absolutely downloaded them and played them just for the sake of it, because it's Harry frackin' Potter. Why wouldn't you? Even if it is Lego, it's Harry Potter. Why wouldn't you? But yeah, so that's all, just about all I could find regarding the delay and why it's being roasted and why people are hating on the last gen version of the game. But once again, it's not to say that it's not just still being refined, and the 30-second clip that we saw that was posted isn't just going to be just some idiot making changes or some idiot running it on low frames on purpose to make it look bad. But yeah, that's it for the video then. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you think it's going to be delayed again? Do you think they're just going to cut the losses and cancel it completely? Or do you think it's going to be just as popular on the last gen systems as the current gen systems? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So of course, keep staying tuned to the channel. There's plenty more content coming. I plan to do a full Hogwarts Legacy playthrough as well when I start my Gryffindor character, currently finishing off my Ravenclaw playthrough. So I should be ready to do that in about a week or so. We'll do a full game playthrough, so there's that to look forward to. Plenty more games coming out this year to look forward to. We've got Spider-Man 2 coming this year. We have Star Trek Resurgence. That's more for me, but I'm still going to bring it to the channel. Suicide Squad's been delayed again, and I'm not too hyped for that anymore. But if I get it, I'll still bring it to the channel anyway. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you all for stopping by. I do appreciate it. And once again, you all know the routine. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. So that being said then, this has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.